Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Alright, so today I'm just going to do a little video about Lossless scaling X4 that just came out a couple days ago. Just a disclaimer, I came back from my vacation last night, so I haven't used this yet. I was out of the country on a ship, so you know how the Wi-Fi setup is already. So I haven't used this, so I just updated it a couple of hours ago. So I'm about to do a little bit of testing for you guys with two games. So that's just a disclaimer I want to put out there. So this is going to be a live active test run for the first time right now. I'm about to do for you guys, right? With Lossless X4 that came out, it comes with G-Sync support, and it also said it boosts your FPS by a lot, but we're gonna put it to the test today and see if there's any difference. I'm sure might be a little bit of a lag or more lag. So let's get into it real quick, and then I'll show you what's going on with this new X4 that came out. All right, so with lossless scaling, these are the settings right here. I got scaling type off, and I got LSFG 2.3, and then I got X4 on. I got performance off. Scroll down a little bit, draw FPS on, and that's basically it. And right now it's upscaling. If I unscale it, go back to the game. Let me show you the settings first though. If you go to settings, I have it on 800p full screen mode. When I tried it on exclusive full screen, that wasn't working, so now I put it on full screen and it's working perfectly fine. 800p. And my graphics settings, most of everything on medium, just like that, right? So now go back to the game. Now lossless scaling is off. As you can see, it's still smooth, still playable. It's around like 20-30 FPS right here. I could tell just by eyeballing it. And then once I turn on LFSG, which is lossless scaling, hit upscale up, go back to the game. Let's do this thing real quick. All right, now see 27 around there, 2730. That's the base FPS. Goes up to 107. Now you can see a little bit of a ghosting, and the blurriness is a little bit there, but I think you could be able to mess with the blurriness a little bit if you turned up the sharpness, if you put on the LFS1, right? If you want to change with the blurriness a little bit, if you want to fix the blurriness, you could go in here. Let's unscale it real quick and see if this will help. Unscale, put it on LS1, and then you can turn up the sharpness a little bit, see if that will fix the blurriness, right? Now let's upscale again. Go back to the game. It's gonna do its thing. Now we're at 103. Still a little bit blurry, but still playable. And you can see the jump in FPS as well. If you look up top left, 98 around there. So still playable, guys. But for most games, this is not ideal to use lossless scaling because this already has FSR 3 built in, but FSR 3 is turned off at the moment. I don't have it on. But for this game, you don't need lossless scaling. But I'm just giving you a showcase of how it works and how it looks with lossless scaling. But still playable, and it's nice to have this technology with the games for these smaller systems, right? Let's get in some action real quick. You can feel the lag as well. Noticeable lag, as you can see me running around. So yeah, for ideal, this game is not ideal for lossless scaling because there's already FSR 3 built into it, but it's still nice to have it for some games that don't have FSR 3 or any type of upscaling built into the game. Alright, so with Spider-Man, before I forgot, I didn't show it for Horizon Forbidden West, but I'm on 800p on 144 Hz. What's the same settings I had on Forbidden West. So 800p 144 Hz, and it was on 30 watts as well. So 30 watts and 800p 144 Hz. So now when you go to game settings in here, got on full screen 800p, VSync off, Go down, see frame generation is off as well. If you go to graphics settings, everything in low for Spider-Man. And then lossless scaling is the same settings as before for Forbidden West. So X4, scroll down, everything is the same. To get back to the game. Right now I'm getting around like 117, 132. And it's smooth. The lag is not that bad. But remember this is on low settings as well. That can affect your lag and your ghosting. Whatever graphic settings you're playing on. That's what I noticed whenever I switch my graphic settings. Forbidden West, when I switched it to high graphic settings, the lag was crazy, guys. Crazy. And the ghosting was crazy as well. But lossless scaling works perfectly fine in Spider-Man. It always, from day one, it always worked perfect on this game. So you never go wrong if you're playing with this game, guys. As you can see, no ghosting, nothing like that. Oh yeah, you just see some little bit of ghosting right there. Let's try and, yep, see some ghosting right there, but not as bad as before. This update to X4 on X3, there was a lot more ghosting. So it's still, this update is good, great, not bad, but depends. It's a game by game basis, I would say, and that's why everyone is staying online. That's doing a review on it, right? As I said, this is my first time using it since it came out. I was on vacation. What was that? So now let's go to my Asus Rog Ally X and see what's going on with that. It's on 30 watts. I had to plug it in for it to get the turbo, so it could get 30 watts, just like the Lenovo Legion Go. So they're both on 30 watts. Let me change this to 120 hertz. Change this to 720p. The in game is already on 720p. On the Legion Go, it was on 800p in both in game and on the software itself. And that's basically it for that. Go back. Let's go to settings. Settings, you go to display. I got on full screen again, 720p inside the game. And then let's cap it at 30 and see what happens. I don't think I cap it for the Legion Go, but let's see what happens in the Ally X. If you go to graphics, I got everything on medium, just like on the Legion Go. So everything is set up basically the same. So now, let's go to lossless scaling real quick. Show you the settings for that. And here, auto scaling type off. X4, I got draw FPS on, and also got performance off as well. So before I turn this on, let's go inside the game and see how it's running. All right, so I could tell the FPS it's around 30, around there. And as I said, showed you in the settings, there's no frame generation on. So if you go down, frame generation is off, as you can see right here, and it's on 30 FPS. So you know I'm getting 30. Still playable. If I turn on frame gen, you'll get a lot more. But we're doing lossless scaling today, so let's go back into lossless scaling now and upscale it. Scale up, go back to the game. Just gonna flicker on and off. All right, resume. FPS around the same, 128, 120. No, it's a little bit, it's higher than the Legion Go, I should say. 120, 119. So it's smooth. You're still seeing ghosting as well when you're doing a quick movement just like that. If you see it around her head, if you look on her head right there, you can see it. But this is playable, guys. So if you're not trying to use frame generation, this right here is good as well. Let's see if I can get some action down here. Doing gameplay, you're not seeing a lot of lag as well. So yeah, it's playable 120. Getting a little bit more FPS than the Legion Go, but it's usable. I'll say it's more cleaner on this, but yeah, it's playable on both devices, I would say. I just want to give you a different experience on both of them. So yeah, you see the lag as well. It's not perfect, still need more work, but it's still playable. But best way to play this game is on FSR3. You don't get a lot of ghosting on FSR3. You do get ghosting, but not a lot compared to this on the lossless scaling. So yeah guys, let me just show you Spider-Man and then you guys can see what's up. Alright, so Spider-Man, same thing before. 30 watts, 120 hertz, 720p. Nothing else different. CPU boost off. All those bad stuff you don't need running. Now, if you go to settings, got everything on low again, just like on the Legion Go. Same settings. Go to display, full screen, 720p. And frame gen off. If you can see down here, frame gen off. Right, let's go into the game. As you guys know already, not sure if I showed this on the Legion Go, but it's still smooth even without lossless scaling. Still smooth. FPS, you could tell you're getting a good amount of FPS. So now let's go lossless scaling. Same settings as before, nothing changed. Scroll up, X4 on, performance off, draw FPS on, same as before guys. Hit upscale, hit back to the game real quick. $120, 60, so 60 base and 120 for the frame generated frames. Let's see if there's any type of ghosting or how bad is it if there's any. So as before, I said before on the Legion Go, lossless scaling runs kind of perfect and both devices. You don't see a lot of ghosting with Spider-Man. Spider-Man is so well optimized. I think that's the reason why. And the lower you bring the settings, I think the better frame generation work on the device, right? Because this is running on low as well. And with Forbidden West, it was on medium. So that I think that's cause like affect the lossless scaling frame gen, because whenever I put it up higher, the frame gen start going crazy. So I don't see any type of ghosting right now. Lag, not that much. Yeah, yep, there's some ghosting right there, I could see. But you will see ghosting from time to time. But as I said before, if you playing Spider-Man or Forbidden West, there is FSR3 built in, so I'd preferably go with that. Lossless scaling and like AMD fluid motion frames, that's mainly for games that don't have any built-in frame generated like software into the game, right? So yeah, so it works perfect. Let's swing around for a little bit so you guys can see what's going on. Nothing crazy, so it's still playable if you prefer to play like this, guys. And yeah, that's basically it. As I said before, I just came back from vacation, so this is just a live test for you guys. Didn't get any time to like play around with it off rip, so this is just a live test for you guys. So yeah, it works fine. Right here you see it's locked at like 120 frame generated frames, not going up, not going down. I don't see it fluctuating a lot, not crazy. But yeah, so that's basically it, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and remember I always say, guys, health is wealth, peace and love. And don't forget to hit that sub button, guys, if you like what I'm posting. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this new software. If it's helping you out, if it's worse, if it's not working good for you, let me know down in the comment section down below. And don't forget to, and thanks for tuning in. I'm out.